Hello there you guys, good morning, welcome to another of my live videos, and today I'm just going to be officially updating you on some more current latest news. So we're going to be discussing with you today a bit about transfer rumours that I've currently updated in the press. And yes, FA Cup 4th round draw was made yesterday. What a tie, I think that's the tie of the round. Arsenal, we've got Arsenal in the FA Cup 4th round draw at the Emirates Stadium, and what an entertaining game, that is as I currently said, and it's going to be a total different kettle of fish, for us. This is going to be definitely a tester for us and Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, having to travel, to the Emirates Stadium, as we all know. Potentially, last time we played Arsenal in the FA Cup was actually back in 2015 when we lost at home to them by 2-1. I think that game, Angel Di Maria had been sent off. It was the time we had Van Gaal. I think Welbeck had scored the winner in the game. So that's the last time the sides met in the FA Cup. I haven't seen the other the games, what other teams have been drawn, but I saw that Arsenal, basically got us in the 4th round, as we all couldn't know. But as we all know, it's going to be a tester for us. We know we only scraped past Reading in the 3rd round, but obviously, as Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, he made potentially 9 changes in that game, and he played a team that's actually never played together as an 11. We didn't play particularly well, but, he gave the youngsters a chance. He rotated the squad, did Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, as he potentially said, he was currently a gunner. But as I did say, we won't be playing that team we played against Reading, against Arsenal. The big guns, will be out for that game, because potentially my club, Manchester United, have got problems. As I did say, we need a strong central defender. I think we need a defensive midfielder that's fast and tenacious, and I think we need a right winger, because all our attack is coming from the left-hand side, as we all know. But we have spent like over £400 million, as we all know. But this is going to be a big game for us, as we all know, and it's going to be a tester. And same with Arsenal, they need reinvestments in their squad as well. Do Arsenal, they need a strong central defender. I think they need a replacement for Aaron Ramsey as well, and that's why Arsenal are in the transfer market to try and get a few targets. But overall, we've got a good record against Arsenal, especially in the Premier League at Old Trafford. They haven't been as at Old Trafford, since 2006. The league game early on in the season ended 2-2, as we all know, but that was different then. We had Jose Mourinho, but now under Solskjaer we look so much better. We've got 5 wins out of 5, 16 goals scored, and there's players, that are performing much better. So I think, we will give Arsenal a very, very good game at the Emirates, and I think we can potentially beat them at the Emirates. I think we did so last season in the Premier League, didn't we? Beat them by 3-1 at the Emirates Stadium. But Manchester United used to be the fixture, when we had Ferguson, when they had Arsene Wenger, because they had a lot of, both set of managers, spent a lot of years at their clubs, 22 years Arsene Wenger at Arsenal. We had Ferguson for 26, 27 years, he had Ferguson for 26, 27 years, and he won 38 trophies at Old Trafford, as we all currently know. So, yeah, that's the tie of the round. Arsenal versus Manchester United at the Emirates Stadium, as we all know. And a lot of fans, will be happy about this. I think it could go either way, because Arsenal have got good players. We've got good players. But as I said, potentially both teams need reinvestments in their squad, as we all know. So that's potentially to update you. I think the tie will be played. Is it between the 25th and 28th of January? The tie will be played between Arsenal and Manchester United. I think it will be. I'll have to look it up more. But I think, near that day, we've got Burnley in the Premier League, haven't we? So that may have to be called off or something like that. I'll look more into it soon. But as I said, we'll get onto some more transfer news to update you with today, transfer day. This morning, I've been accessing online on my phone, and I have been looking at some transfer rumours, to potentially update you with. So we'll give you a bit of Arsenal's, give you a bit of my clubs United, and we'll give you a bit of Chelsea's and all that, as we always do on this channel. So potentially a name's been mentioned in the press. He's a Belgian international. He's 25 years of age. He's called Yannick Carrasco. He's called Yannick Carrasco, is this player. Reportedly Manchester United have been interested in him. Reportedly AC Milan have also been interested in him, but reportedly Arsenal have also been interested in him as well. And reportedly, according to the media, Arsenal have opened up negotiations, and reportedly, according to the media, Arsenal are favourites to sign this Yannick Carrasco. He's 25 years of age, as I said. He is a winger. He plays for Chinese club Dalian Yifang. He only signed for them last February. this Chinese club bought him from Atletico Madrid for £27 million last year, back in February, the player. But reportedly, I think the player is keen on the move to Arsenal, reportedly. As I said, he's 25 years of age as a player. Reportedly, he's good at scoring goals and he can provide assists as well, but he does play on the wing and he's nearly in his mid-20s, he's the player. In his youth career, he actually played for Jankred, who's not the youth system. Then he actually began his senior career with Monaco, did the play as well. I think he scored 20 goals in 105 professional games for Monaco, won the Liga 2 in his first season, then finished runners-up in Liga 1 in his second season, and then potentially after that, I think he went to Atletico Madrid, did the play. I think he spent 2.5, 3 years, with Atletico Madrid. He also scored in the Champions League final for Atletico Madrid as well, did the current player. And potentially now, he's currently at Chinese club Delane Yifang, however you pronounce his name. So he's playing in the Chinese Super League, is this player. But reportedly, Arsenal are the favourites to sign this Yannick Carrasco, as we all know. But he has been mentioned in the media today. I think he was mentioned in the media yesterday. But he says my club, Manchester United, have also expressed an interest in him as well. But reportedly, according to the media, Arsenal have opened up talks, and reportedly, Arsenal are a monster favourites, to get the player on the board. But we know potentially from Arsenal's perspective, Umremre knows that he needs reinforcements in his squad, as we all know. And Umremre has potentially confirmed he wants a centre back in, and he wants a potential winner. So they are two key areas that Umremre wants to strengthen up, as we all know, because potentially we know Arsenal have got problems still. They've got injury problems, as we all know. Ozil's future is still currently uncertain with Arsenal Football Club, as we all know. According to his representative, Mesut Ozil, he's currently still trying to fight his way in the team because he's been in and out of the team this season. He was injured early on in the season. He's injured now. Is Mesut Ozil, as we all know. And a few teams have expressed their interest in him, but I think potentially he's Premier League proven. He's been at Arsenal since 2013, as we all currently know, as Mesut Ozil, and he's got a contract worth £350,000 a week, so he's Arsenal's highest paid player, as we all currently know. They obviously know Danny Welbeck's leaving for Arsenal because he isn't signing a new contract. They know Aaron Ramsey's leaving because Arsenal have blatantly told him he's not signing a new contract. He's Aaron Ramsey, as that has been confirmed, as we all know. But potentially, yeah, so reports have been coming out in the media today as well about Aaron Ramsey, that reportedly Arsenal have set a price tag of around £20 million, reportedly, for Aaron Ramsey, reportedly. But according to Umremre, Arsenal doesn't want Aaron Ramsey to leave in this January transfer window, reportedly. He may soften his stance, if he actually gets a player in return, for Aaron Ramsey, as we all currently know. But as I said, Aaron Ramsey's been a very, very good servant for Arsenal. He's made over 300 appearances for Arsenal in all competitions. He's been there since 2008, so he has grown and developed very, very well. I think he scored about 60-odd goals. He's a very, very good box-to-box midfielder, and he risen up the ranks with Cardiff, for like 8 years, and he played like 22 times there, became the youngest first-team player there. But as I said, teams have been interested in Aaron Ramsey, but Juventus obviously are preferred. Juventus is his preferred destination. Aaron Ramsey. So reportedly, whether he leaves in this January window or whether he leaves in the summer when he currently comes to an end of his contract, Aaron Ramsey. But reportedly, Arsenal have set a price tag of around £20 million, as we all currently know. But obviously, Arsenal are still out there, trying to find replacements, as we all know, because like I said yesterday, the likes of us, my club, Man United, City and Liverpool, in the last couple of years at least, especially, we have been bankrolled by rich owners, and as we all know, Arsenal, under Wenger, now under Umremre, haven't been getting the right amount of transfer funds, to spend. They haven't been getting the right amount of money to spend on players they do currently want, Arsenal, because they do need reinvestments in their squad. They got 5 players last summer, as we all know, and to be fair, Aubameyang and Lacazette was a very, very good signing, for Arsenal, to be quite fair, because they're leading the lines, the scoring goals for them, and, they're doing very, very well, to be quite honest with you. But Aaron Ramsey, reportedly, is going to be set to leave. It did come out in the press saying that Juventus were willing to offer him around, was it a 7-8 million signing on fee? Plus, it said there were bonus requirements involved as well. It did say they're willing to to offer him a 5-year deal worth about £5 or £6 million per year. He said something like that reportedly, but he did say bonus requirements are involved as well, depending on how many appearances he does make for Juventus. Aaron Ramsey. But reportedly, there were talks a couple of days ago in the press, that about this Medhai Benatia and Aaron Ramsey as a potential swap deal, because this Medhai Benatia, he is a centre-back and he plays for Juventus, and potentially that they are one of the areas that Emre wants to strengthen up, his centre-back position, as we all know. So Medhai Benatia, we mentioned a couple of days ago, he's Moroccan, he's a centre-back, and he's age 31 years of age. He plays for Juventus as a centre-back, and he's permanently signed for Juventus in 2017, did the player. He's also been at Udinese in the past for when he was young in his prime for 3 seasons. He spent 1 season with Roma as well. I think he had a couple of I think he went out on loan at a couple of teams as well. And he also actually began his career with Marseille, when he was a lot younger in his prime. But reportedly, Arsenal have made inquiries over that as well. So there's been talks of Medhai Benatia and Aaron Ramsey as a potential swap deal, as we all know. And that came out in the press a couple of days ago. So potentially we know one of Arsenal's key targets is Denis Suarez, as we all know. And we know that Denis Suarez has been spoke about. The narrative has been spoke about this in the last 3 weeks. In the last 2 or 3 weeks of what I've seen in the whole storyline over this. So potentially, it actually confirmed that I saw a report in the press yesterday saying that West Ham had actually been interested in Denis Suarez, but reportedly a £20 million fee or something had been turned down or something like that. But reportedly, according to the media yesterday, what I saw, Barcelona are reluctant to sell Denis Suarez in this January transfer window. I think they're demanding that they want around £20 million for Denis Suarez, because we know that Arsenal have approached Denis Suarez's representatives. Negotiations have been going on, between Arsenal and currently Denis Suarez's representatives. And reportedly, that could be one of Arsenal's first signings, in this January transfer window, because Denis Suarez does actually want to leave Barcelona. If he's lack of game time, he isn't getting a lot of game time under his belt with Barcelona, Denis Suarez. And I think he's keen on, making the move to Arsenal. But Arsenal have got to think about, if he goes, where they're going to fit Denis Suarez in the team. And this is what Arsenal have got to think about, because his versatility is good. You can play him centrally, you can play him on the right, you can play him on the left. So his versatility is very, very good, as we all know. And he is aged 25 years of age, is Denis Suarez, so he's nearly in his mid-20s, is the player. But the Arsenal have been in negotiations with the players' representatives about getting around a $20 million deal over the line for the player. The reports have been coming out, saying that Arsenal have been close, to getting Denis Suarez. But Denis Suarez, as I currently said, he's obviously keen on reuniting with Emre, because obviously he used to work with Denis Suarez, they do remember, obviously, when Denis Suarez, was on his 1-year loan, when he was on loan with Sevilla for 1 season, Denis Suarez, and that year, he actually won the Europa League, did Denis Suarez. He's played for Celta Vigo in the past, he's played for the Barcelona reserve team, when he was a lot younger in his prime, played for Villarreal, and he actually began his youth career with Manchester City, did Denis Suarez as well. But he's praised Emre, Denis Suarez. He said he's one of the best coaches. He said he got the best out of us. He said this back in 2015, Denis Suarez, regarding Emre. So that's one of Arsenal's targets. They are heavily linked with, as we all know. But they need that replacement for Aaron Ramsey. They need someone who's going to hit the ground running. And if the player doesn't hit the ground running, or whether it is, then there's going to be concerns around Arsenal, as we all know. But they still look a better team under Emre than they did under Arsene Wenger. They did go on a 22-match unbeaten run early on in the season. They still know there's problems in the team. They do need to reinvest into their squad, the Arsenal. Don't forget, they have got a lot of injury problems as well, of Arsenal, as we all know. They've got Petr Cech in goal, that's coming to an end of his career soon. We know there's been reports coming out as well that Arsenal have reportedly been interested in Gary Cahill, but Emre has dispelled the myth, and Emre has made it clear it's not one of Arsenal's potential transfer targets. But yeah, the latest player to be linked with a move to Arsenal is Yannick Carrasco, and reportedly he's 25. He is Belgium. He plays for the Chinese club Dalian Yifang. He's only been there. He's only been there a year, nearly a year, as I said. Well, he signed last February, didn't he, last year? February last year he signed from Atletico Madrid, did this Yannick Carrasco. But reportedly Arsenal are are in front, you know, to reportedly sign the player. But it says Manchester United, of course, have also been interested in him reportedly as well. The reports coming out about James Rodriguez as well the other day that Arsenal were interested in. Well, James Rodriguez, well, initially plays for Real Madrid, but I think he's still on loan with Bayern Munich is the player as well. I can't see him, you know, leaving this month, to be quite honest with you, James Rodriguez. So there has been discussions about that going on in the media as well. But as I said, yeah, we'll go on to my team now, Manchester United. So as I did say yesterday, you know, as I've been reading the press this morning, you know, about Mauricio Pochettino and that, because we potentially know that he's linked with the Old Trafford job, as we all know, is Mauricio Pochettino, as we all know. That's Ed Woodward's number one choice, you know, to recommend in, you know, at the end of the season, you know, if potentially Solskjaer doesn't get the job on a full-time basis. So potentially it's been mentioned that, you know, Pochettino's come out with some stuff. He's basically said Tottenham have to. He said something. What did he say now? Have to observe in a different way. He said, what did he say now? If I can remember what he said. Oh yeah, he said Tottenham have to operate differently, and he said Tottenham have to operate in a different way for them to win titles. He's also been coming out in the media today of what I've seen, that he did say he would like to manage Tottenham Hotspur for 20 years, and he's actually hinted as Pochettino that he could finish his career with Tottenham Hotspur as Mauricio Pochettino, and he also said Tottenham will struggle to compete without spending any money, because they don't spend any money, Tottenham, because Pochettino's only spent £50 million, you know, since 2014. We're linked with the Old Trafford job at the end of the season. It come out the other week that Ed Woodward had been in transfer talks with Mauricio Pochettino. Reportedly, Pochettino has been in negotiations with Manchester United, you know, about potentially coming to the club at the end of the season. But I think he's fully committed to Tottenham, as I said, and I think he's very, very happy at Tottenham. Is Mauricio Pochettino, as we all know, he's been there since 2014. He's only spent a net spend of £50 million, but in my opinion, he's got a very, very good squad. He's good at developing young players. Is Mauricio Pochettino, as we all know, he's good at developing young players, and he's been managing since 2009. You know, he played 18 years in his playing career. He has got that attacking philosophy as Pochettino, and he is good, but he hasn't won out in terms of silverware as Mauricio Pochettino, as we all currently know. But yeah, he said Tottenham have to operate in a different way, you know, to win silverware and challenge for titles, and this is what he currently said. But now he's coming out in the media saying he would like to manage Tottenham Hotspur for 20 years, as we all know, and you know, potentially the longest managers that have served, you know, at the moment in English football, who have been longest at their clubs, is obviously Sir Alex Ferguson for 27 years when we had him. He served years, you know, at Manchester United. Arsene Wenger served 22 years at Arsenal, as we all know. And obviously Pochettino, reportedly, some of the comments he said, he's trying to follow them footsteps, you know, of a long legacy, as we all currently know. But he hasn't won out in terms of silverware, as we all know, as Pochettino. But we know he's been heavily linked with the Manchester United job, as we all know. But reportedly, he said the other week, Ed Woodward was in discussions with him about signings for the summer. He indicated Man United to go sign James Maddison for £70 million from Leicester, and this is what Pochettino said. But obviously, we know potentially that we know from my perspective as my club, Manchester United, we need reinforcements in our team. We definitely need to strengthen up in our squad, as we all know. Because as I did say, I think we need a central defender. As I did say, I think we need a centre defensive mid, and I think we need a right winger, because as I did say, he's a bit slow at the right wing, and I said all our attack is coming from the left-hand side, as we all currently know, and we've still got a lot of players coming to the end of the contract. But obviously, Solskjaer did confirm he was going to have discussions with Ed. He was going to have discussions with Ed Woodward, was Solskjaer, about potentially, you know, this January transfer window, about getting signings, you know, in this January transfer window. And these are a few players, you know, we are actually linked with. You know, we are linked with quite a lot of central defenders, as we all know. But potentially, according to Solskjaer's latest, you know, he's given us an update, and he said it's unlikely that Manchester United will make any signings in this January window. And he says he doesn't expect Manchester United to make any signings in this January transfer window, as we all know. But we're looking very, very good so far. 5 out of 5 with Solskjaer, 16 goals scored, as we all know. You know, 2 clean sheets now under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer as well. And, you know, the team are playing to the potential, as we all know. There's still weaknesses in the team, you know, that do need addressing, as we all know. As I did say, I think Rashford's mainly number 9. He's been United player since the age of 7, and he's progressing up the ranks well. And potentially for me, Marcus Rashford, Marcus Rashford, potentially has nearly made 150 appearances at the age of 21, as we all know. But I think he's mainly number 9. I know you can operate him in the middle or on the left, but I think he's mainly number 9. I think Martial's better on the left wing. I think he establishes himself better on the left-hand side. I think Pogba's better in a number 10 position. To be quite honest with you, he's Paul Pogba. He's very, very good in a number 10 position. I know you can put him in a different role, but I think he operates better just behind the centre forward, does Paul Pogba, to be quite honest with you. But potentially, I do think, we need a central defender. That's one of the areas we need to strengthen up because, we've got players coming to end of the contracts. I think these players that could leave as well, as I did say. I don't know how Fellaini, I don't see how Fellaini fits in this new Manchester United regime, to be quite honest with you. I don't see how, to be honest with you, I think Darmian will leave as well. He's coming to an end of his contract. He's Matteo Darmian, as we all currently know, and he hasn't played much this season. But as I did say, we do need reinforcements, as we all know. I think the current team are training in Dubai right now, as Solskjaer confirmed, and it's going to be our first test. Is going to be Tottenham at the weekend. We're going to Wembley. It's going to be a very, very difficult game, as we all currently know, because Tottenham have got good players. But Solskjaer's brought the fear factor to the club. As we all know, he knows the culture of the club, he knows the traditions of the club, because he was a great player for 11 years from 1996 to 2007. I think he's been discussing that he would like the job on a full-time basis. Solskjaer would like the job. He would love to fulfill the managerial role on a full-time basis, as he has admitted, and he says it would be hard for him to leave Manchester United. Of course, would Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, but he's brought the fear factor back. As we all know, best start. He's won his first 5 games. I think that's the first time that's happened, since the great Sir Matt Busby, as well. And he knows some of these players, from the reserve team, and you watch them, grow and develop, as well. And I think this team will grow and develop, under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. And I think the youth will grow and develop, and the team will flourish, as I've just said, because he said he's going to give everybody the chance. Did Ole Gunnar Solskjaer? We know we've had injury problems as well this season. We know potentially Sanchez has just recently recovered from a hamstring injury. He needs to adapt other areas of his game, but the more game time he gets, I think he'll, dramatically improve. Lukaku's improving, under Solskjaer, 3 goals in his last 3 games, which is very, very good to see. As I said, and potentially for Romelu Lukaku, as I currently said, he's Premier League proven. He's known to score goals in the Premier League. I know people have concerns about his first touch and all that. It's not a very, very good first touch. As we all currently know. But, as I did say, he's improving under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. As we all know, he's Romelu Lukaku. And I think the whole team have improved under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. And it's good, that Solskjaer expressed them, he wanted them, to go out there and express themselves and get them enjoying playing football. And that's what they are doing at this moment. But we know there's still a few potential players, that we have been potentially, linked with them. As we all know, we've been linked with the likes, of Koulibaly. I know a lot of Manchester United fans, would like Koulibaly, to come in, as we all know. I just don't think Napoli are willing to do any business, in this January transfer window, because the Napoli president's confirmed they're not willing to do any business. He's rated at around at least £100 million. Man United have been in talks with the Napoli officials. Well, Ed Woodward has been in talks with the Napoli officials, as we all know. But reportedly, obviously Man United in the process so far have had 3 bids turned down for Koulibaly. The latest one was a £95 million bid, because the Napoli president had confirmed that a £95 million bid had been turned down. But he would be a great major sign, would Koulibaly, if he was to come into Manchester United, because, I think he'd look good if you put him alongside Bailly. Bailly's future's still uncertain because he's been in and out of the team this season. He's hardly played. He's currently suspended still at the moment as well, but he still has got great potential. And Lindelof's improved dramatically very, very well this season, as well as Victor Lindelof. So he's improved this season as Victor Lindelof. And I think Koulibaly, would look good alongside them at the back, as we all know. And I think he'd be a good leader in our back line. He's under contract with Napoli until 2023, as we all know. Napoli only paid, they paid note next to note for him. They only paid £7 million for him. And look how he's grown and developed and flourished, with Napoli, and he's obviously never played in the Premier League as Koulibaly, as we all know. But we know he would be a great major signing. He adapts every area of his game well. He's quick, he's tenacious, and he would be a great player, as we all currently know. But as I said, you know, there's other centre backs we've been linked with. We know that, you know, Costas Manolas, you know, has been mentioned in the press. He's nowhere near on the same levels as the likes of, you know, your Koulibaly's I've just mentioned, or your Diego Godins, or your Sergio Ramoses, or your Rafael Varane. He's nowhere near on the same level or calibre of them, as we all currently know. But as I did say, he's available for around £32 million because he's got a 32 million release clause in his current deal, as this Costas Manolas. He is Greek, he's a centre-back, he's 27, he is tall as well, is the player, as I said. But reportedly, Raiola currently represents this player. Raiola represents him. Reportedly, Raiola has had discussions with Manchester United over this. Reportedly, over getting a 32 million deal over the line for the player. But a report was coming out from Greek saying that Manchester United have held talks, you know, to get the player in the summer, but potentially we should get him in January because we desperately need a central defender now in the January transfer window. As we all currently know. But yeah, he's Greek, as I currently said. He's 27. He's an ex-Olympiacos. He's an ex-Athens player as well. But he's reportedly supposed to be a pretty decent player. Got good composure, very disciplined. Reportedly, you can play deep. As well at the back line can the player, but it come out was it from a Twitter post saying that Man United willing to pay his 32 million release clause, well, trigger it and activate it and offer him around £6 million pounds a year, Costas Manolas. But yeah, Man United have been heavily linked to him, but we know Raiola worked on previous deals and these players have come to United, such as Ibrahimovic, Pogba, Mkhitaryan and Romelu Lukaku and all that, so he worked on them deals as well, did Raiola. But yeah, Manchester United have been linked with him, as we all currently know. But as I did say, you know, going back to Koulibaly, you know, he'd be a great player for us. He'd be a huge major signing, as we all know. He would be, you know, a key acquisition, you know, he would be a key acquisition, you know, of a player of his calibre, you know, to come to Manchester United, you know, to experience these facilities. You know, it would be a fantastic, you know, for him to come if he did come. But I think we're more than likely we'll get a deal done in the summer, not in this January transfer window. But we know we've been linked with, you know, this Eddie Militao, right? We know that Eddie Militao, there's also been talks going on about Eddie Militao, as we all know, Porto centre-back. It's also said that reportedly Liverpool have been interested in him. He said that Real Madrid have reportedly been interested in him as well, because Real Madrid are looking to strengthen their defensive line, as we all know. So Eddie Militao, as we all know, he only signed for Porto last summer. He risen up the youth system with Sao Paulo. He is Brazilian. He's been a full international Brazilian since 2018. Well, last year, the player. Porto only got him last year. He is 20 years of age, as we all know. Reportedly, his versatility is supposed to be very good. He's Eddie Militao's as well. But reportedly, he's got 4 years left on his deal with Porto, and reportedly he's got around a 40 odd million release clause as the current player as well. So we know potentially Manchester United, of course, have been linked with him as well, and he's very young in his prime as well. He's Eddie Militao, as we all currently know. We know potentially that too. Well, Ed Woodward's identified 2 potential transfer targets as well, which is potentially, what's his name? Milan Skriniar from Inter Milan and Koulibaly I've just mentioned. But Milan Skriniar, he's another potential target, you know, that we've actually been linked with, Milan Skriniar. I do really like Milan Skriniar. He's been at Inter Milan since 2017, 23 years of age. So as I did say, you know, he's still very young in his prime as a player, and he's got a lot of years ahead of him as Milan Skriniar reported. I think he's made about 60 odd appearances since his arrival to Inter Milan since 2017. You know, he's Slovakian. I think Inter Milan paid around £20 million for the player, as I said, this player. But he can play as centre-back, he can play as a defensive midfielder as well. Can reportedly can this player Milan Skriniar. So potentially Manchester United have been keeping tabs on Milan Skriniar as well. So they are the defenders we are linked with. We know we're linked with, obviously, Tove Alderweireld as well, obviously, who's Premier League proven. As we all know, Tove Alderweireld is Premier League proven. As we all know, Tove Alderweireld is now 29 years of age. So he is now coming out of his prime, as we all know, and he is aging up. And this is why I did say he's losing the pace a little bit. You know, I've got reservations about him. He needs to adjust his game a little bit more, you know, to be quite fair. does Toby Alderweireld, as we all know. But as I did say about Alderweireld, you know, he can be a world-class central defender. As I did say, he can play as a centre-back, he can play as a full-back, as we all know, can Alderweireld. And potentially, Tottenham have extended his current contract till 2020, so he's available 25 million in the summer, because potentially Tottenham have included a release clause in his current year extension, you know, that he currently signed. So it's a 25 million release clause that is available to activate, I think, in the summer as well for the player. But Manchester United, of course, have been heavily linked with him as well, because potentially we do need defensive reinforcements, you know, at the back. We definitely need a strong central defender. But, you know, Koulibaly would be a key acquisition, you know, of his calibre, definitely for us. He would be the number one for us to get out. The centre-backs we linked, you know, he would be the best one, you know, for Manchester United to get, but it would cost us a lot of money, of course. And I think, you know, as well, guys, I think, in my opinion, I think we potentially need a centre defensive midfielder as well. We definitely need a centre defensive midfielder, because, to be fair to Matic, he really has improved, and he has flourished, you know, so far under, you know, the Ole Gunnar Solskjaer era. But as I did say, he's slow. He doesn't have a lot of pace about his game, and I do have reservations about him. But he's very effective when he does pass the ball, because, to be fair to Matic, he does pass the ball well. And under Solskjaer, I think his distribution in the midfield has improved. He's galloping forward more. He's getting more involved in his Matic. But I think we do need a defensive midfielder that's fast and tenacious, as we all currently know in the process. But reports, I've got a bit of a cold still, but reports were coming out yesterday from the media, reporting that reportedly Manchester United had put a bid in for this player called Nicolo Barella. He's a Cagliari midfielder, this player. He's very young in his prime. He is age 21, is this player. It did say reports from Italy reports were stemming from Italy yesterday saying that Manchester United had put around a £30 million bidding for the player. As I did say, he's 21. He is Italian. He's a player reportedly supposed to be a pretty decent player. Is this Nicolo Barella? He's a Cagliari midfielder. Reportedly, Chelsea, of course, have been interested in him as well, because Chelsea obviously have seen him as a suitable replacement for Cesc Fabregas, because obviously it's looking like Fabregas is going to be going to Monaco, as we all know. So Chelsea are seeing Nicolo Barella as a potential replacement for Cesc Fabregas, as we all know. But this Nicolo Barella, as we all know, is 21 years of age, reportedly. Reportedly supposed to be a very good player. Is this player? Reportedly, his versatility is supposed to be very good. He's got a great wide range of skills. Is this player as well? Reportedly, he's good at winning possession back, so his determination to win the ball, that's good. Reportedly, he's good at holding on to the ball. His passing is supposed to be very good, but reportedly, he can play as a defensive mid. One of the areas we need to strengthen up. He can play as an attacking mid, he can play as a central mid, and I think his favoured role is the right-hand side position in the midfield is the player. So basically he can play anywhere in the midfield. In the midfield can Nicolo Barella, reportedly. But yeah, Manchester United reportedly have been interested in him, and the Italian press have reported that Manchester United put around the £30 million bidding for the player. And he's only 21 years of age, so you know we would get a lot of years out of the player. As we all know, obviously never played in the Premier League, as we all know, as the current players. But yeah, Manchester United have reportedly, you know, been interested in him. And we all know there were reports coming out yesterday, guys, as we all know, about Philippe Coutinho. Now, potentially, he would be a great signing if Manchester United somewhere along the line did get a deal over the line. We know it's not going to... I don't think it's going to happen anyway. It did reportedly say from the press that Chelsea and City and Paris Saint-Germain were also interested in Philippe Coutinho. Well, he's a maestro, as we all know. He hasn't really established himself at Barcelona as actually we expected him to do, because he is Brazilian. He's in his mid-20s. He's 26 years of age. Is Philippe Coutinho, but he hasn't really the impact at Barcelona as expected. You know, he hasn't made as expected, but he hasn't made the impact as he did do at Liverpool, because he had 5 great years with Liverpool. He's Premier League proven because he had 5 great years with Liverpool. Did Philippe Coutinho, as we all know, and reportedly he can create chances, he can score goals, he can provide assists. Versatility, very good, and he's one of the best, you know, midfielders in the world. One of the best midfielders in the world, because he's mainly number 10, but you can put him in a number 10 attacking midfield position. You can put him on the wing as well, Philippe Coutinho. You can put him on each flank, and he even can operate as a second striker as well, can Philippe Coutinho as well. So his versatility, is very, very good, as we all know. But Barcelona director confirmed he thinks Coutinho's still got a future, with Barcelona. Even though reports coming out yesterday saying that Manchester United had reportedly been in talks with Barcelona to get a deal over the line. Reportedly, it would cost Man United in the excess of around £100 million anywhere, to get Philippe Coutinho on the board. So it would potentially, cost a lot of money. But, could you imagine Philippe Coutinho in our team? He'd be absolutely fantastic, as we all know. And he would guarantee you goals. He would guarantee you assists, as we all currently know in the process. Imagine putting him alongside Paul Pogba, and I think he'd complement our team very, very well. But obviously Barcelona last January paid £142 million for him from Liverpool, as we all know, and potentially he's the third most expensive player now in the world. I think the most expensive player in the world's Neymar, then it's Mbappe, then Coutinho's third, then it's Ousmane Dembele, and then I think it's Paul Pogba. That is the top 5 of the list of the most expensive players, but he's still got a long contract with Barcelona, as Philippe Coutinho, as we all know. He's done a year of his contract now at Barcelona, as we all know, but, recently, Philippe Coutinho has not been first choice, at Barcelona, so he's, had a lack of game time, recently, Barcelona have actually, preferred playing Ousmane Dembele, over Philippe Coutinho. I haven't really watched Philippe Coutinho, at Barcelona, to be quite honest with you, but as I did say, we're absolutely fantastic, for Liverpool. He had 5 great years with Liverpool, as we all know, and he was a great, great player. And obviously, he used to play under Mauricio Pochettino, when he was on that loan spell with Espanyol. Philippe Coutinho, as we all know, and potentially, he was at Inter Milan, when he was a lot younger in his prime, was Philippe Coutinho as well. And Liverpool only paid £8.5 million for him. And Liverpool made a huge profit on him because they got 142 million for him. But obviously, he grew and developed and turned into a sensational player, when he was at Liverpool, as we all know. But as I potentially said, everyone thought Liverpool had gone backwards when they lost Coutinho and Luis Suarez and Mascherano and all that. But they haven't. But to be quite fair, they have lost their last 2 games now. Liverpool out of the FA Cup, losing to Wolves yesterday by 2-1, losing to Manchester City. So could potentially Liverpool be bottling it now, as we all of a sudden we speak? Could Liverpool be bottling it now? They are still top of the Premier League at the moment. They've actually never won the Premier League. Liverpool, it was since 2000. They haven't won it for like 28 years, all in all. So that is nearly 3 decades. But as I did say, Klopp's invested into the team. He's addressed their deficiencies. I think Virgil van Dijk would a very, very good signing for Liverpool. 75 million. Defensively looking better this season. Attackively looking better this season. As we all know, they've got Salah, Firmino, Mane, great attacking trio. As we all know in the process. But yeah, Klopp has addressed their deficiencies. Klopp's got a decent pedigree. He spent £400 million in like 6 transfer windows. Spent £170 million last summer as well. Liverpool were the biggest spenders last summer, as we all know. But yeah, they're on a bad run at the moment at Liverpool. They've lost the last 2 games, losing to Wolves yesterday in the Cup, losing to Manchester City. So could nerves potentially all of a sudden be better at Liverpool? Because I think Manchester City could quite easily catch them, as we all know. But it's potentially between City and Liverpool, for the league, as we all know. Obviously, my club, United, Arsenal and Chelsea, are obviously fighting for the top 4, as we all know. And obviously, Arsenal would want top 4 to invest more money into their club to attract players' interest. Same with my club, Manchester United, exactly the same thing. Same with Chelsea as well. But yeah, that's mainly everything to update you today. This is your Transfer Daily Show to give you all the updates of what's... for me to keep you up to date of what I can of what's going on in the media, as I currently said. But yeah, reports coming out about this Yannick Carrasco. He plays for the Chinese club Dalian Yifang. He plays in the Chinese Super League, and reportedly Arsenal are favoured to get the player. Has he got a contract with them till 2021, if I'm quite sure as well. But I know they signed him last year, Dalian Yifang from Atletico Madrid for around £27 million, was it, or something like that. Yeah, but yeah, reportedly Arsenal are favourites to sign. So anyway, I'm going to get off. I'm going to be reading some more transfer rumours. I'll be back very, very soon with some more live videos today. So drop your comments, likes below on the channel if you do consider as subscribers always, and take care. God bless, and I'll see you all again very, very soon.